Hello, wenyenchi. How are you doing? I hope mko poa. How is life out there? I hope Ruto hajawafinyilia sana. So, juzi when I was watching news ya saa moja asubuhi, I came across this news item on KTN News, and the news item was about ODM and Ruto. Yes, that ODM members were saying that they want a new deal with the Kenya Kwanza government. Let's listen into the news item from KTN.
Ni taarifa yake Marion Barasa iliyotoa sauti na mhariri Ali Manzo. Tusonge mbele. Viongozi wa chama cha ODM sasa wanataka kufanya makubaliano na Kenya Kwanza kabla ya uchaguzi mkuu wa mwaka 2027. Wakizungumza baada ya kuzuru boma la mwenda zake Cyrus Jirongo katika eneo la Lugari huko Kakamega, viongozi wamesisitiza pendekezo lao la kupewa kazi za juu serikalini iwapo watafanya kazi kwa pamoja na Rais William Ruto kwenye uchaguzi mkuu ujao. Mwanahabari wetu Winfrey Owino anaangazia ziara fupi ya viongozi hao katika kaunti ya Kakamega mapema leo.
Baadhi ya viongozi wa chama cha ODM wamezuru maeneo mbalimbali ya Kakamega katika shughuli iliyoanzia nyumbani kwa aliyekuwa kiongozi wa chama cha UDP Cyrus Jirongo na kuipa familia yake pole wiki moja baada ya kifo chake kilichotokana na ajali barabarani.
Huko kwetu mananasi.
Wakiongozwa na mwenyekiti wa chama cha ODM Gladys Wanga, viongozi hawa wamemtaja waziri wa zamani Cyrus Jirongo kama mwandani wao wa kisiasa ambaye hakuwahi pata aibu kutambulisha familia yake licha ya kuwa na mke zaidi ya mmoja.
Uchaguzi uliopita yeye alikuwa ana support baba na alikuwa mtu ya baba mpaka dakika ya mwisho. Hautaona watu wanajitokeza ati mimi pia nilikuwa kwa sababu yeye mwenyewe aliwatambua.
Hata huyu jamaa ambaye amesimama mbele yenu pia na yeye alisaidiwa na Jirongo.
Viongozi hao wa ODM wametumia fursa hii kusukuma ajenda zao za kisiasa, wakisisitiza kwamba kwa sasa wako ndani ya serikali pana, lakini iwapo wataendelea kufanya kazi na Rais William Ruto baada ya uchaguzi ujao, basi wanataka pawe na makubaliano yatakayowaongezea kazi za juu serikalini.
Sisi kama chama tujikaze, tujiunde, tukae ngumu, tukae kwa grassroots, tukuje kwa meza. Wale wengine wakuje kwa meza. Lazima tujue ni nini iko ndani ya hii.
Kama hatujapigia kura, ndio umetupatia 6. Sasa hii kama wanataka kura chetu cha ODM ya 2027, lazima waweke vitu kwa meza. Watu waambie wanapatia sisi ngapi. Lazima watu wazungumuze.
Ukiongea juu ya broad base, ongea juu ya 10 points agenda. Hawa ni kama wale watoto mapacha wamezaliwa wameshikana. Ukitaka kutoa mmoja, pengine mmoja atakufa ama wote wakufe.
Kufuatia kifo cha Raila Odinga Oktoba, umoja wa chama cha ODM umekumbwa na mtihani, haswa viongozi wa juu wanapoonekana kutofautiana hadharani licha ya chama kusisitiza umoja.
Hata tukiongea mambo ya 2027, we must be consulted on every step that the party takes.
Nataka kuwaomba tuungane kama chama. Wanachama wote ni wanachama wa Raila.
Winfrey Owino, KTN.
So I want us to go through some of the reasons why ODM will seek a new agreement or a deal with Ruto's Kenya Kwanza side. So, okay, political parties are formed to take power. They are vehicles to propel the politicians into power. So after doing my analysis, I've come up with a number of reasons, around 12 reasons why the ODM members would seek a new agreement with the Ruto side, Kenya Kwanza government, or as they are called, Mandugu wa broad-based brothers. So some of the reasons why ODM would rationally seek a new political deal with Ruto are: number one, political agreements are not perpetual contracts. In Kenyan politics, deals are contextual, not eternal. I repeat that again. In Kenyan politics, deals are contextual, not eternal. They are anchored on personalities, moments, and balances of power. Once the political environment shifts, new leadership, new pressures, new incentives, the original terms lose relevance. ODM will therefore see a renegotiation not as betrayal, but as institutional realism or realization. What does this mean? Things have changed from the time they entered into that agreement up to now. So they renegotiate according to the various changes that has happened. The second reason why they would want a new agreement is that the death or exit of a principle destabilizes guarantees. The previous understanding was heavily underwritten by Raila Odinga's political authority and personal leverage. His absence weakens enforcement mechanisms without a dominant figure to hold the state accountable. ODM risks becoming a junior partner with no teeth. A new deal will be about restoring enforceability. See, that is self-explanatory. The third reason would be leadership transition within ODM demands redefinition of authority. New leadership inevitably seeks to assert control. Any party leader who inherits an agreement they did not negotiate is structurally disadvantaged. Renegotiation becomes a way to consolidate authority internally and externally, signaling that the current leadership speaks for the party. Exactly. These agreements were entered into, led by Raila Odinga, the late, may his soul rest in peace. But now, after his demise, there's new leadership. ODM is now led by Odinga. So, he was not an active participant in the previous deal. So he has to renegotiate terms because now he's the one in charge and to stamp his authority as the party leader. The fourth reason will be power sharing without power control is politically hollow. That is, ODM's presence in government may create the optics of inclusion without translating into real influence over policy, budgets, or appointments. Over time, this creates internal dissatisfaction and public confusion. Public confusion in the sense that some people, for example, Sifuna, the Secretary General, says they are not in government, while the other leaders, including the national chair, Gladys Wanga, is saying that they are in broad-based. So this one creates that public confusion and people wonder, where does this party lie? So a new deal would aim to convert symbolic access into functional power. That new deal will make them now be right into it, because I heard the news that those who will not be following the broad-based policies will be thrown out. So I think after this deal, anyone who will be against it will be thrown out, such that ODM will be fully into government. The fifth reason is state resources remain the currency of political survival. Why? Kenyan electoral politics are development-driven. Constituencies expect visible returns from proximity to power. If ODM regions perceive marginalization, the party risks erosion at the grassroots. A renegotiated framework will be a mechanism to secure equitable state attention. Just the other day when Ruto was attending the Pinyilu festival, he asked ODM members to remain united, to consolidate their people so that they may come to the table and talk. So for them to consolidate these people, they have to show that they have some might, they have some power, they still hold water. Yes? So this also, and that they can capture state attention. And that's why even the by-elections was so important for them to win. The sixth reason will be managing internal party cohesion. ODM is not monolithic. In peace, governors and local leaders operate under intense electoral pressure. When light agreements fail to yield tangible outcomes, internal fractures emerge, and we have seen this in the past, in the near past, that there has been a lot of differences in the ODM party, in that Sifuna will say this, the other person will say this. So there's that difference in thoughts and policy and party position. So doing this will manage those internal and bring that party cohesion and reduce those fractures. Renegotiation becomes a tool for leadership to stabilize the party by demonstrating relevance and effectiveness. They want to show that even without Raila Odinga, the party is still relevant and effective, so that it doesn't die with the party. The seventh reason will be risk management ahead of the 2027 election cycle. Early alignment decisions shape future competitiveness. ODM would be cautious of drifting into a political gray zone, neither opposition nor ruling partner. A clearer, renegotiated position reduces strategic ambiguity and preserves negotiating leverage ahead of 2027. Yes, wakipangana, wapangane kwa meza vile Ruto aliwaambia waende kwa meza wapangane. It makes them now even think beyond 2027 on which side they'll support. So it will not make them a watermelon, as they say, but they now, and the citizens and everyone will know that whether they are either fully in government or in the opposition. The eighth reason is avoiding political absorption. History shows that dominant governments often neutralize opposition partners over time. Without periodic renegotiation, ODM risks being slowly absorbed, co-opted, or fragmented. A New Deal reasserts institutional boundaries and protects party identity. The ninth reason is shared responsibility requires shared authority. Economic hardship creates a political liability. ODM cannot afford to be seen as complicit in government failures without the authority to influence outcomes. Renegotiation aligns responsibility with power, reducing reputational risks. Narrative control and public legitimacy. Politics is also storytelling. A renewed agreement allows ODM to explain its role to supporters in coherent terms. Why is it cooperating? what it has secured, and how it advances its agenda. Silence or ambiguity invites suspicion and cynicism. The 11th reason, or what I would say, second last reason, is allied security and continuity. Senior political actors naturally seek institutional security, that is, appointments, protections, and future pathways. While often spoken, this is a constant factor in allied bargaining. A new deal can formalize these considerations and reduce internal anxiety. The 12th and the last reason why ODM is renegotiating or entering into a new agreement with William Ruto ahead of 2027 is buying strategic time. So they might be renegotiating as a tactic, not terminal. It can buy time for internal restructuring, leadership consolidation, and long-term planning without forcing premature confrontation or electoral commitment. So the bottom line is, from a political analysis standpoint, ODM seeking a new deal with Ruto will not be an act of weakness or opportunism. It will be a rational response to altered power dynamics, leadership transition, and electoral calculus. In Kenyan politics, you renegotiate not because you don't trust, but because you understand power does not stand still. So, those are my 2 cents on this new update or new happening about this new deal or renegotiation between ODM and Ruto or Kenya Kwanza government. Let's wait and see how it will turn out to be. Otherwise, bado wewe ndio mwenye nchi na nitaendelea kukwambia kwamba wewe ndio mwenye nchi. Even as I come to end of this, I'll ask you with the humbly request that you don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more videos and political analysis like this. Thank you, and may God bless you. Bye.